Episode 6, Affair on the... Wait, what? Oh boy, that name is... worrisome. Well, anyways, picking up where we last left off, we are on episode 6. So if you haven't seen episode 1 through 5 yet, please check out that portion of the review as it'll be heavily referenced for context in this part. Anyways, this episode starts off kind of continuing a trend we've seen in nearly every episode altogether so far. I'll go into deeper detail later, but apart from episodes 4 and 5, the episodes have been average and nothing more. Except for episode 4 and 5, as I stated before. And being average in of itself isn't a problem. Far from it, in fact. It's just that, well, there needs to be a balance. A series can't just live on the average. It needs to feel unique in its own special way. Whether the detail is positive or negative, I honestly couldn't care, because sometimes so many negatives makes for an interesting review, although maybe not an interesting series. But I'm a pretty forgiving guy, so... Bah! Let's talk about the episode already. It opens up with a conductor looking at his watch as he reminisces his father's past. His father was a conductor as well, and this pocket watch was kind of a keepsake of his long-gone father, who had died in an unfortunate accident, as he was a conductor as well. The son vows to be a good conductor, and put the passenger's safety above all else, and not make the same mistakes his father made. So, in this kind of interesting flashback, I do like how we're getting more characters expanded upon in the universe. It makes whatever the planet is called again feel more alive. So, he rings the bell to signal the train to leave and the all aboard! You know, because that's what conductors do. But then a woman named Susan, I'm not kidding here, latches onto him and begs him not to leave yet, as her true love hasn't boarded the train yet, and they promised they'd leave together. So she holds him to hold him in place, as the bell just keeps on ringing. Shan, annoyed by the ruckus, looks out the window. Keel says, oh, it's fine, lovers enjoy their time, just let them be, people value their time. And now, I thought Shine was annoyed because of the noise, because, well, I'd be. A ringing bell would be murder on my eardrums. But no! He's actually jealous the conductor has this complete stranger hug-holding him and really putting her cleavage in his face. And he says, I'd totally be in love with her more than him. What? What? I never would have thought that a 25-year-old legendary gunslinger in the body of a 10-year-old literally say he'd bang a complete stranger better than an adult conductor.
Did I really just say that out loud?
So, Susan, the woman Shine was simping over earlier, boards the train, buying enough time for her lover Danny to get on as well as Loretta and Maribel sneaking onto the train. Okay, that makes 6 times now the Treasure Gals have coincidentally met up with the Adventure Thieves. Add that into your notebook of things we checked so far. I will be checking this at the end of the stream. Other than that, though, I don't have a lot to say about this episode. The conductor is super stingy with the time because Susan's begging made him 2 minutes late. Jeez, I mean, seriously, are all conductors like this? I mean, seriously, every cartoon portrayal of a conductor is always obsessed with the time. Whether it's Thomas the Tank Engine or Polar Express, conductors are stingy as all hell. This episode doesn't give me a lot to write about, unlike the others so far. The Treasure Gals want to get close to a rich guy named Mr. Ballard so they can loot him, once again, with the sexual temptation strategy. This worked so great the last time, it didn't. Well, another thing happens, some bandits rob the train, and that's okay, I guess. There's also the wife of Danny, who gets mad at him for cheating with Susan, and Kiel has to help a woman deliver a baby. I'm not making that up. Kinda weird, I know. And yeah, that's really it. I mean, this is a pretty big and boring episode, all things considered. It really is just filler at the end of the day, but Man, what a steep decline in episode quality. I mean, okay, I said there's gonna be filler episodes, but this just dropped the ball hard. Well, I mean, I guess they can't all be a win, but it is what it is. So let's hope episode 7 picks up the slack. Alrighty then, episode 7, Someday My Robber Will Come. The episode opens up with Loretta and Maribel, who are speaking to this woman, who asks them if they are sure of joining their cause. The woman states they won't be allowed to leave the premise and cannot date any men, as they are forbidden on the sacred grounds. So the treasure gals are trying to steal from maidens. Okay, how does the episode go from here? Maribel says she's been training for Ra for this, obviously a lie, with Loretta saying something similar. This is a lie as well. Keel and Cheyenne are struggling with the sandstorm as this happens. Meanwhile, back at the maidens, the head of the group, the old woman named Miss Elizabeth, does some fortune-telling ritual. She reveals people will be coming. Keel and Cheyenne approach the sacred grounds with two maidens greeting the Avengers. Also, can I point out that Isaac and Drewster haven't really gotten any purpose outside being the mascots that perform slapstick? I mean, mascots don't typically have a story and significance, but it'd be nice if they went somewhere with this relationship and constant bickering. Back on topic though, Keel and Cheyenne arrive outside hoping they can give them directions on water or something. I mean, they were just in the desert after all. The two maidens asked the Avenger dudes to follow them inside, as they are expecting, but they didn't say earlier to the treasure gals weren't they allowed on the site? Well, whatever, because the two go inside to meet the old hag, Miss Elizabeth, and you think this would be a trap or something, right? I initially thought this group of maidens would be a cult or thief ring or something. They'd lure desperate travelers and loot them or something. I mean, Loretta and Maribel want to steal something from them, so they would have something secret valuable, right? I mean, why else would a group of maidens have some big treasure worth stealing? However, this isn't the case. Miss Elizabeth wants to date Kiel, her fated love. What? Well, I cannot give a free rant pass to this, so let's cover why the heck is this episode even a thing? Okay, I'll go on record and say that every anime, regardless of how big or small it is, will have at least one fan service episode. Sure, fan service is sprinkled in bits of nearly every standalone episode, but there will always be one episode specifically made just to pour these fan service moments together. Usually, these are pretty bad in most cases. I mean, most fan service episodes are. The only examples of passable fan service episodes I can give are the Gun X Sword one, because it's the perfect anime, so it should have a passable fan service episode as well. And there are a few ones in Hunter x Hunter, but that's because there's so many in Hunter x Hunter. So, I mean, there's bound to be a few good ones in the 148 episodes. This has got to be one of the weirdest setups in any fan service episode I've ever seen. Literally, Dr. Keel Arnax has gotten little screen time for him to shine, and one of his opportunities consists of the group roping into playing along with this date on the old hag so Loretta and Maribel can steal the treasure. God dang! Keel has not been dealt the best hand in the show, has he? I mean, he's both my favorite character in design and personality-wise. He got the sharp edge of the stick more often than not. I mean, he got tortured by the warden in episode 1, got sedated by Loretta and Maribel in episode 2, he got tied up with the mayor in episode 3, had to stack books for the chief of the librarian in episode 4, had to watch over Cheyenne being seasick in episode 5, had to help give a woman deliver a bit. I mean, just holy shit! This is the worst! As now he has to pretend to love Elizabeth for the group to get info. After many fan service scenes and cringe moments, you just feel bad for Kiel. Jeez, like, man, like, well, since there is treasure, clearly, let's get back to the synopsis. Oh yeah, speaking of treasure, you want to know what the oh-so-valuable treasure is? Pearls. Freaking pearls! So this group of maidens have been harvesting pearls by raising these clams to feed a large creature that is their supposed guardian. However, the maidens have actually never seen the guardian as they just throw the food down the chute. So the party decided to go down and see the guardian theirself. However, it turns out the guardian has been dead for a long time, and a giant skeleton rests in its place. However, since there's no guardian to feed and no purpose to the pearls, Elizabeth dances happily off into the night as her true love may find her now. Because she knew Kiel was just playing along, and she doesn't need to be with the maiden since, again, their guardian is dead. Get out with that shit. Oh my god. I mean, episode 6 was not great, but at least it had action, and the conductor was an interesting side character at least. Here, however, we get a main character, one that I personally liked, get a really, really bad hand dealt to him. Oh yeah, and the Treasure Gals and Adventure Dudes meet up again, because, why not? It's happened in every episode so far, so it must happen in this one. I mean, god damn, this is just... Oh man, I said episode 6 was a steep decline in quality, but nothing's steeper than this! Oh god, like, I feel so bad for Kiel. Just... Jeez! Ugh, what a load of freaking garbage. Worst episode yet, no question. And I've gotta say it again, not a lot of episodes give me this little to say about the episode itself, and more just about how stupid it is. Oh my god, such a... Ugh! Hopefully episode 8 is better, because I really am not... God, please episode 8. Please be better episode 8. I'm begging you, anime. Okay. Sorry, I lost my cool. But rant over! On to episode 8.
Well, face it, you've been dumped.
My, that woman is something else.
I bet you're never gonna recover from this heartbreak, right, Kiel?
God, well, that's a bottom tier episode. Oh, man. Okay. Breathe in, breathe out. It's okay. We can stay calm. We can rant more about the episode later when I rank all the episodes at the end. But until then, let's see if episode 8 maybe does a little bit better. Oh god, this name worries me. Oh no. Oh no! Okay, I should probably stop focusing on the weird names for the time being. But it can't be worse than our last episode now, can it? So let's see. Adventure Dudes are traveling in the desert as the sun sets. They're looking for something through a pair of binoculars. Apparently Cheyenne and Kiel have gotten clues about a treasure being hidden in the Valley of the Midnight Sun, which actually does kind of sound like a cool place. They have half a key that is said, when joined with the other half, will open up the lock to the treasure of the Midnight Sun. This is all explained in a flashback, where a woman stumbles into their table at some pub and passes out saying, when the key is formed, the 3-year long-lost treasure that will turn the world upside down will be revealed. The scene then cuts to the Treasure Gals, who are in the valley as well looking for the treasure as well, and they just so happen to have the other half of the key. Loretta got the other half of the key when dealing with some dude at a pub. And you think she'd come up with a new strategy, but no, she goes for the sexual temptation strategy once again. Seriously, when will you learn?
Loretta, you hate giving away money. How come you're giving him all that?
Hey, what do you know, Mirabelle? This treasure is worth much more than anything that money could buy. So what's it gonna be, mister? Can I get my hands on that thing you promised? If you need some more, I can always pay you in a different way.
Nah, I like this stuff a whole lot better than that.
You think Loretta would learn after the great ways that happened last time, but that guy's snarky response made it all the while worth it. Nah, I like this stuff a lot more than that stuff, so I'll let this one slide. An interesting fourth wall break, Jerusa suggests talking to the Adventure Dudes to see if they have the key or maybe know about it. Like seriously, the mascot character is starting to notice a pattern. I like how the writers are becoming self-aware of these coincidences. Of course though, Loretta is all like, oh no, I'm not dealing with them. They can kiss my feet, but I'm not kissing theirs. And I want to say, that is quote for quote.
Absolutely not. I'm not kissing up to those guys. Who do you think I am anyway? They can kiss my feet, but there's no way in hell that I'm ever kissing theirs.
That is until they are drop-kicked. Back with Dr. Keel Aranax and the adventure dudes, he even suggests going to the treasure grounds, as he too is becoming self-aware of these many coincidences. But Cheyenne, being too cool for you, is all like, "Oh no, I'm not gonna humiliate myself by going to them. They think I'm some sort of wimp." Oh yeah, and another shadow comes and dropkicks them. Kind of a coincidence. Adventure dudes wake up in a medical ward, with the doctor saying their injuries were minor, as the nurse Rosa says it's a relief, as she found them knocked out in the desert. Shan, of course, simps over her, but of course, this girl is more interested in the adult Kiel than the, well, childish simp Cyan. You think Cheyenne would get it by this point, but he hasn't become self-aware. Yet. Anyways, a sheriff comes in revealing the name of the town. Honest Town. Wait, what?
I hear they've regained consciousness. I'd like to welcome you to Honest Town. I'm the sheriff in these parts. Nice to meet you.
Huh?
I'd like to welcome you to Honest Town. I'm the sheriff in these parts. Nice to meet you.
What?
I'd like to welcome you to Honest Town.
Rat?
Honest Town.
What town?
Honest Town.
Honest Town.
Honest Town.
Honest Town. Honest Town. Okay, before we keep going, I want to give an award for the worst town name I've ever seen. Jesus, it is not subtle at all. But you know what? That gave me such a good laugh. I'm already over the horrible episode 7. I don't even want to remember it. Wait, what's episode 7 again? Okay, I'm back from the doctor's office after getting lung surgery from nearly laughing myself to death. Anyways, this episode's actually pretty good despite how weird it seems. Honest Town. I'm never gonna get used to saying that. It's split into two clans, one being the Red Rodent family, and the others being the White Senna family. The town is even split down in the middle, with all the Red Rodent buildings being red on one side, and the Senna ones being white on the other side. Apparently there's a big feud going on. The sheriff asks the adventure dudes in help defending the Red Rodent family, while the treasure gals coincidentally happen to wake up on the White Senna side of town. The elegant guy the treasure gals woke up alongside goes out to fight Rosa, the nurse that the adventure dudes fought. However, before either of them can pull the trigger, Cheyenne interrupts the two alongside Loretta, who again does the same thing. Thankfully, they convince each other to walk off, with Dr. Keel Arnax being asked by the Red Rodent family to stay there and help them. Cheyenne obviously being jealous that, Keel's getting all the attention. Cheyenne also meets a little girl who is walking through the town a bit later, and a gunshot is fired at the two kids. Okay, now that genuinely surprised me. We've had little action since episode 4, and I'm glad we get another threat. I mean, it's willing to go as far as to shoot two kids. Cheyenne fires back, willing to miss and have his arm shoot a hill in the distance, which puts a large hole in it. Surprisingly enough, Cheyenne manages to get the child to safety as the sheriff of the Red Rodents comes in to assist, saying, "It's gotta be the White Sennas. They're the worst!" Cheyenne looks at the massive hole he shot in the hill as the scene cuts back to Loretta, who's speaking with that elegant guy from earlier. In the middle of the night, a large earthquake hits Honest Town. I can never get used to saying that! So, the Red Rodents decide to have Dr. Keel Aranax, Isaac the race I can't pronounce, and legendary gunslinger in the body of 10-year-old Cheyenne, since they saw him shoot a hole in the hill earlier, while the White Sennas assign Maribel, Noble Red, Jerusha the and Loretta, the magic card sorceress waifu, to fight against one another to see who gets the rights to the town. Okay then, well that's kind of random, they just randomly signed them out without their consent, but okay. Morning comes around as Shine notices the hill he shot with his arms doesn't have a hole in it anymore, strangely enough. Maribel also knows the white guy going up to a tower. Cheyenne prepares for the duel. Maribel flies up there to find the white Senna guy, and he's gone. She goes into a closet to see something, but before we can see what was behind those doors, the scene cuts back to the streets between the two buildings, where Maribel flies back down to participate in the duel to not have anyone suspicious of where she went. The elegant white Senna guy flips the coin as Cheyenne fires his arms, with Loretta using a fire card. This, however, creates a massive chain explosion, catching all of the party members. The elegant man of Senna and the nurse from the Red Rodent family look down at what they think is the dead party. They laugh, saying they had their victims going as they celebrate, revealing they were in on it together, and they conned the two. So, the two thieves approach the supposedly dead party, but the woman notices Shine's gun and reaches for it, but of course, Shine was playing dead and calls them out. Yeah, so it turns out, when Maribel relayed what she found behind the doors in that closet earlier, it turns out there were a bunch of disguises there, and they'd only been seeing two people at a time, apart from the little girl. And that's, again, pretty good detail. I would have never guessed that. Seems a little convoluted, but, you know, nice touch to details. Maribel told the party she pretended to fight to lure out the culprits. Now they take off the masks to reveal... Okay, fair enough. I should have seen that coming, but I didn't. It turns out the woman that gave Kiel the key, and the guy that's all like, I like this stuff a lot more than that stuff, set them up for the whole time. Dang, this is classic Scooby-Doo right here. Well, anyways, they interrogate the, what should I call them? The con couple. I'll call them the con couple. They say, so the treasure's fake too, right? And they're like, no, because we've been conning people here, we haven't needed the treasure. So they give them the key, and they send them off in the direction. However, they send them in the wrong direction, but the party knows this because the hill Cheyenne shot a hole in earlier seemed to move to the other side. And that explains why the earthquake went off, because the whole town is on a rotating disc. Dang. This is classic Scooby-Doo stuff right here. I'm not kidding. Oh my gosh. So finally, they go to dig up the treasure chest. Using the two apps, the key to unlock it. They find a teddy bear. A frickin' teddy bear. Hey, that was another funny moment. Yay! I mean, it's kind of sad, but you know, that was pretty funny. Shine gives the teddy to the little girl earlier as she happily accepts this gift. The party walk off happy that they at least made someone's day. But there's one more twist. It turns out the girl shows the father the teddy bear, and the crystals in the eyes are worth a lot of money, so now he and his daughter are rich. And that's it for episode 8. Thank God this one was much better than the previous 2 trash traps we got last time. It had me worried at first with using so many coincidences at once, but I like how they used that as the basis for this episode. I mean, hell, the party met in every episode, so it's kind of, you know, a good idea for the developers to poke fun at this idea. Also, one more time.
Honest Town.
Let's just let this go down in history as the worst town name ever. But if I ever own my own town, I will name it Honest Town. Sorry if I keep changing shirts. It takes a really long time to record these, so if you see me in a different shirt through a lot of shots, that's why, because I'm taking such a long time to record this. While we're at it, I might as well take a drink of blinker fluid and see what the name of the next episode is. That's it! Who's coming up with these names? I've had it up to here with you!
Ha 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 ha. Gene the Supreme strikes again. You didn't think you were safe from me now, did you, Quint?
Of course it's you. Of course it's freaking you. God damn it, Jane. Can you just leave my streams alone? How do you even get in here anyways? I've got a super secret password. You shouldn't be able to know that.
I know everything, Quint.
No, you don't!
Well, I know you have a extremely stupid crush on Roll from Mega Man. You try to justify it by saying you like her as a character, but you really just use this as an excuse to look up Rule 34 hentai of Roll and...
Stop! Just get out of here, Gene. Get the frick out of here! Ugh. But thankfully, my mind was put at ease as soon as I saw the first few seconds of this episode, revealing this was a casino-themed episode. Okay, I can get down with this. I mean, my OC, the dealer, was a gambling-themed robot, so this could actually, be interesting. It starts out with Loretta playing poker with some woman, so the treasure gals have decided to get money the way of the gambling ways. Why can't I read the script correctly? Okay, with that mouthful of words set aside, we can probably see where this is going. The adventure dudes and treasure gals are inevitably going to run into each other again. I mean, it's basically become the structure for the episodes at this point, so there's no real way to question that. But let's add that to that notebook, which I sincerely hope you're still keeping track of. You better not forget this. No, I'm being serious here. So, the adventure dudes run into the casino city, Las Gamoras. This place is filled with roulettes, cards, neon lights, poker chips, slot machines, and just about what you'd expect from a casino. Shine notes how it feels completely different from the desert road outside, and Keel pokes a little fun at Shine saying he's not old enough to gamble yet, with him doing the response, which is pretty much expected by now. I mean, I kind of buy the fact that Keel would poke fun at Cheyenne too, since Mirabelle, Jerusha, and Isaac have all started poking fun at him, so I can imagine he would get on that too. So good on you, Kiel. So, a bandit in an executioner's mask
Did I really just say that out loud?
draws a knife at Estelle, who was the woman Loretta was playing cards with earlier. He claims this woman, Estelle, had swindled him, which, I mean, basically anyone would if they lost in gambling, so it's not really that much of a surprise. However, Estelle draws a magic card, very similar to that of Loretta's. Kiel interrupts the holdup by throwing his cloak over the bandit with the executioner's mask, and his mask falls off as he drags him out from under the cloak, revealing the dude's name is Dennis. Dennis runs off in a panic as he's now unmasked. Estelle thanks Kiel as she claims she would have been seriously hurt, but Kiel says Estelle would have obviously mutilated Dennis. I mean, she had Crest Sorceress cards, and he only intervened so no serious injuries were made. Cheyenne once again tries to simp in front of Estelle with just about as much success as you'd expect. Turns out Estelle actually owns the casino, and she plays cards within it, challenging people. She gives the adventure dudes a case of chips to start off at the casino as thanks for helping her out. Kiel speaks with Estelle, wondering why a Crest Sorceress runs a casino. Estelle saying, a Crest Sorceress can't live a typical life at this day and age. Everything vanished when Twilight Venom occurred, the event that ruined Cheyenne's village. I kind of find it funny it took us 7 episodes to bring up the main plot again. I mean, you'd think they'd bring this up again. The anime is literally called Wild Arms Twilight Venom. Well, at least they mentioned it. Still shouldn't have taken this long, though. Estelle says that she's the same as the magic kept in the cards. The only thing left for them to do is die slowly. Kyo asks if she has any interest in her heritage and what her ancestors were proud of. She says that it doesn't matter, since the descendants of the evil race have nobody to serve or sacrifice their life to, since the king, Keanu, is dead. Yeah, you gotta love how the big, super powerful non-humans are called the evil race. Laughable name choice aside, I am thankful that we're finally starting to bring up the main plot. Oh yeah, also, the entire scene of Kiel and Estelle talking in the room is in the dark, lit with a very dimly lit candle. Estelle looks so menacing in the dark. They both have wine glasses. There's dramatic and suspenseful music. Kiel seems very suspicious of Estelle. Estelle is smiling, and you know what? I'll just let the scene play out itself.
But what's the point of knowing all of that? The descendants of the evil race have no one to sacrifice our lives to now that we've lost our King Keanu. Or did you want to fight with me too? If that's the case, then I would have no choice but to kill you in the way of the old tradition. There you stand as a child of Lyra, challenging the evil race.
Estelle seems to be the most trustworthy character ever! No hidden motives, no evil intent, no super secret plans whatsoever! Cheyenne was somehow allowed to gamble. But he's getting bored as the starter chips make it too easy since he can just gamble a bunch and not really worry about losing since he has a whole bunch in the case to begin with. He finds Maribel, who is sad, sitting at a fountain. Maribel notices on Cheyenne's tuxedo is a badge, and he accuses him as a spy for that woman. This is obviously Estelle. Kyo leaves the room believing this card sorceress is cheating, which, I mean, come on, it's pretty obvious by now. I mean, Loretta is nowhere in sight. Dennis tried to straight up attack Estelle, and this is a casino-themed episode. I mean, cheating is just bound to happen. Now here is where Cheyenne and Maribel talk off to the side, and we hear of Loretta's unfortunate fate.
To do something, she won't listen to anyone.
Then she bet herself in the game.
And on top of that, all of our belongings are gone.
Are you sure she's using her body to earn money?
I don't like where this is going.
I can't even talk about it anymore.
All right already, either cry, it's one or the other.
Stop! Stop!
Thankfully, before the situation can get any worse, Dennis, who is spying on Cheyenne and Maribel, pipes up. Yeah, our executioner's mask-wearing bandit comes here to offer. But Cheyenne, ever so suspicious, points his guns to his chin, but Dennis offers to help get back their belongings, as long as they expose Estelle. Now, okay, that's not a bad deal. I don't get why Cheyenne would point his gun at the chin, but okay. So, they decide to band together and expose Estelle in exchange for getting back all their belongings and Loretta. So they go to a large safe with Dennis opening it. It totaled tons of money, treasure, which Dennis claims Estelle got most of it by illegitimate means. Cheyenne and Dennis find a photo of Dennis, as Dennis here reveals that he was Estelle's husband, and she used him when he owned the casino to take all the assets out from under him. So Maribel finds a door, which has a large tentacle creature to ambush them inside the safe. Dennis cries out as Maribel accidentally unlocked the door to the safe's guardians as they burst out of the safe. Thankfully, they get away. Mirabelle leaves behind a letter challenging Estelle of a game of poker to win back Loretta. The first cards are dealt, with Maribel already having 3 aces. Estelle is confident though, as despite having the lower hand, she raises anyways. Maribel calls. The next card is dealt, with Estelle going all in. Of course, she offers Maribel the choice of betting herself just like Loretta did. Maribel hesitates, but accepts anyways. The hands are finally revealed. Maribel having a full house, however, Estelle has a straight flush, making her the victor. Estelle walks off confidently, saying Maribel starts working tomorrow as the customers will love her young body, but Keel stops and reaches into her sleeve, revealing a card proving she cheated. Dennis getting in a good line and exposing Estelle for what she is. However, she's not gonna give up that easily, as, she's a crest sorceress, she's got a card or two up her sleeve. She uses a magic card to temporarily blind the crowd and escape. However, she runs into a wrestling gym, which I don't know why it's in a casino, to try and lose her pursuers, but they quickly catch on and corner her in the crowd. And here is where we find out what happens to Loretta. She's being forced to participate in a wrestling tournament. Oh, so that's their excuse for saying, using her body. Well, we all know what they were trying to get at, but come on, this is a pretty bad way to cover it up. You can't fool me. However, I will admit it is extremely satisfying to see Estelle get put in her place as she's shoved into the ring to challenge Loretta, and she just clonks her out in one hit. Dennis even goes in as well, but I don't really know why. I mean, Dennis helped more than anything, so I don't know why they shoved him in. Jeez, poor Dennis. He deserves so much better than this. I mean, he unlocked the vault. Come on! Well, anyways, the episode then ends with Estelle being let off the hook since she already got humiliated and Dennis now has the rights to the casino again. Loretta tells Estelle she should live a normal life, and that's what Keel suggested earlier in the episode. So, now that the party is reunited, they all head off and Estelle goes her own way. Loretta, however, gets to look and speak at Estelle one more time before they separate, as she tells her sister to live her own life. Yeah, okay, probably not the best way to build up that twist. I mean, we've seen no other card sorceresses apart from Loretta, so I think it's pretty damn obvious that Loretta and Estelle are related. And that's it. You know, despite the fan service, this was actually a pretty enjoyable episode, all things considered. It has a decent premise, okay build-up, an interesting villain, and a satisfying defeat to said villain. One of the best episodes so far. I don't think it tops episode 5 with Mr. Kojima. Okay, I'm sorry. My bad. I apologize. That is the last time I'll make that joke. For more context, please watch part 1 of the review, as it will explain a lot about this joke. But hey, it doesn't really need to be better than episode 5 at this rate. You know, now that I think about it, what is it with everything I watch getting good gambling episodes? Skill Crane from SpongeBob, Wild Cards from Justice League, Death Poker from Devil May Cry, and now this. Like, seriously, aren't these episodes supposed to teach you not to gamble? Anyways, I've gone on about this pretty good episode long enough, so I'll catch you next time for the next episode. I'll see you then, everyone. I'm Quint866. Have a good one.